It is day one of me decluttering every day for 30 days in January, and we are starting with Christmas decor and Christmas clothing. Now, I have shared my 30 days of decluttering schedule over on my community pages and also on my Instagram. You can find me there at Natty, Natty underscore Rob, ROBB. And I share a bit of kind of general life over there as well. So I've set a timer for 15 minutes for this declutter, but I haven't set myself a minimum time to spend decluttering. Like I think I could spend like 5 minutes decluttering each day and that would absolutely be fine. But for my 20 days of decluttering in December, I decided that I would do a minimum of 15 minutes a day and that worked really well, and just setting a timer works really well for me. So set my timer for 15 minutes and I have mostly scooped up all of the Christmas clothing into this tote box, but I am missing a few items. I know a couple are in the wash and that's absolutely fine, I can add them in later, but I'm looking for some Christmas gloves, and I know that there's a Christmas jumper. I think that is in this nappy bag. So I'm going through this wicker basket, which we have sitting on our stairs. It has all of our hats and gloves and scarves and everything in it. I do have plans to get rid of it, but for now it's still in circulation. So going through that first to see if I can find these missing Christmas gloves. I couldn't find them. So I decided that I couldn't just check it all back in, and it's pretty overflowing. So I took everything out and therefore I have to fold it all back in. I did, however, manage to pair up these gloves, so I decided that that was worthwhile. I'm munching on some walnuts that my husband has shelled for me. And now, you guess, am I drinking a hot blackcurrant tea, or am I decluttering the last of the Christmas glue wine? So I didn't find the gloves in the basket on the stairs, but I did find them in the nappy bag, as well as the jumper that I was expecting to find in there. So now we have rounded up all of the Christmas clothes. It's time to go through this tote box. Now, I decluttered my Christmas decor when I put it out. So I don't feel like I have much Christmas decor to declutter. My husband, who has been working from home today, he did spend a bit of time today de-Christmasing the house whilst I was at the soft play with the kids. Who had the better day? You guess. But seriously, it was good fun this morning, but it has been a really exhausting day. My kids, out of routine, pretty hyper today. Had a few moments where I was like, oh my God, what is happening? So I am absolutely exhausted. Excuse the state of me. I have like half of my kids' dinner down my front because my 2-year-old will not eat her dinner or any food, any meal. When she's in the house, if I'm around and she's sat on my lap, I made quesadillas for dinner, and they came with sour cream. There's like a little dip on the side, so I'm wearing half of hers. And yeah, I mean, let's just not talk about it. But it's late. I need to get this done. And I was really excited to start this declutter. So I've had about, I don't know, I want to say like a good week off over Christmas. I've done some cleaning, and I've put together a couple of longer videos of my 20-day December declutter. So I've been doing some things, but I haven't been decluttering, and I am excited to get back to it. I have a good feeling 30 days of decluttering in January is going to really set me on the right path, because I can definitely feel the benefits of my decluttering in December, but I know I have a long way to go. So Christmas clothing though, I definitely do need to declutter. I decluttered Christmas clothing to some extent at the beginning of December when I got the tote box out, but I know that especially for my 2-year-old, like we're not going to have any more babies. She's the last one. So whilst we can hand down clothing for my 6-year-old, my 4-year-old, etc., when it comes to my 2-year-old, once she's grown out of things, they need to leave the house. I have a couple of friends who have younger daughters who can pass things on to, but I need to make some decisions about what goes and what stays. A couple of these jumpers, which she has worn this year, are technically age 3 to 4. She's only just turned 2. So I do wonder if she should be able to fit in those next year. So I'm going to pop those back, pop in the Christmas PJs back. I kind of miss my Brussels sprout pajamas. Like I sort of wanted to keep on wearing those, keep the spirit of Christmas alive for a bit longer. But I also don't want to drag the tote box out of the loft after we put the Christmas stuff away. So I am mostly focused on clearing out the stuff that will not fit my daughter next year. Having a bit of debate with my husband, who's over in the kitchen in front of me, like, do we keep this? Will she fit in that? Do we like this jumper? Will this be good for nursery next year? And I really do find it helpful to have someone to like just bounce the thoughts off. Like at the end of the day, I'm going to make the decision myself. But I feel like just speaking them out loud, like the random jumble of thoughts in my head, helps me to make sense of things and make those decisions. Jumpers for the boys, we can definitely be passing jumpers on. I think actually my eldest might fit in one of the jumpers, if not two of the jumpers that he wore this year, might well fit him next year. That said, he just seems to have a sudden growth spurt recently, and I've been looking at him the last couple of days like, what on earth has happened to your trousers and your jumpers and t-shirts like halfway up his arms? What has happened? So I've had to order him some new clothes. I've sourced some things from Vinted. I'm a big fan of secondhand shopping, but there isn't as much choice now that he's kind of at that age, I think, where kids are like wearing out clothes more. But still, I think people make decisions to buy things, or they're gifted things that they don't like so much, or they buy things and find that their kid grows out of them really quickly, or for whatever reason they don't wear them so much. So there's definitely bargains to be had, but I just like the idea of recycling clothing as well as it, saving money, is that kind of more environmentally friendly approach. So I always have a look on Vinted first, see if I can find what I need there before shopping in like regular shops. Things like shoes, I am always buying new because they will definitely wear them out. And I just think there's something about shoes, and I will need to buy my kids, particularly my boys, new pajamas each year. But pajamas for my 2-year-old, she has plenty of hand-me-downs from her brothers and from friends. But for the boys, generally, we need to be buying those. So they're getting new stuff, they're getting gifted stuff, they have some lovely stuff in their wardrobes. Don't worry about them. They're well looked after. But I try to secondhand shop as much as I can. So I had to refold everything a bit more carefully to actually fit it in the tote box. There was plenty of room in it. And my husband's Father Christmas costume needs to go back in there. I did not wear my Mother Christmas costume this year. Sad story. I put on a few pounds this year and I knew I wouldn't fit it on. I just couldn't bear to try it on. Next year, I've decided this year, I do really have to work on my health a bit more. I've been exercising really well over the past year. I've been run walking, doing really well with the exercise, but the food has not been so good. I have cut out a lot of processed food from my diet, but I need to cut down on the volume a bit more. So that's something for me. I like a goal. I really like a goal. So my goals for this year are, firstly, to declutter the house, have the house feeling like I can breathe a bit more. And secondly, work on my health. So this is what I managed to clear out clothing-wise, and I'm just making some decisions here. Like, what's the best stuff to pass on to my friends, and is there stuff that I would need to put in the Salvation Army bin rather than passing it to my friend, because I'm just really conscious. I'm giving a lot of stuff to my friend and I don't want to overload her. She's getting gifted stuff by the grandparents and aunts and all that jazz. So I don't want to overload her. But I had 5 minutes still free of that 15 minutes and I was umming my husband, is there anything Christmas-wise I need to declutter? And suddenly occurred to me the Christmas cards. So I don't know why I was going through them. I mean, it's quite nice actually to read the messages again from friends and family. But I was having this debate with each one. Should we keep this one? Do you want to keep this card from your friends? Do you want to keep the note that came from your friends in their card, their kind of yearly update? Do you want to keep this? And my husband, each time, he's like, no, 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 Nat. No, I don't want to keep the Christmas cards. Why do I want to keep Christmas cards? And I get his point. The joy in the Christmas cards was receiving them at the time, reading the messages, displaying the cards, although we were pretty useless at displaying the cards this year. But that was the joy. And I put one card to the side here, which was from my sister-in-law. And it was a card that her 1-year-old had made at nursery, had painted, and it was really cute. And I was like, do we keep that one? And he's like, no, Nat, are we ever going to look back on it? Are we going to look back on it in the future? No, we're not. So please be sensible here. We need to declutter the cards from the house. And sometimes it's just really good to have that person who's a bit more sensible in the moment. And I think really it's just me being very sentimental about this time of year. I love Christmas. I'm kind of missing the fact that the tree is down. We're over Christmas proper. We're in January, and that's just the sentimental side of me, I guess, coming out. But we did put the cards in the recycling, and I'm sure if I was more crafty and had more time, I could have cut some of them out, turn them into labels for next year's Christmas presents. And I love that people do that. And maybe that is future me. But right now, current me does not have the time, patience, or energy for that. So here's what we got rid of. I'm very happy with this. I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.